We had no snow yesterday. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I know. We had no snow yesterday and now we have snow. It's crazy. So, okay, so I'm gonna be uploading this to YouTube because I feel like everybody, wants tips on how to sign distributors, and I definitely want to share with my team too. So I thought I would just go live on Periscope because it's just so much easier. It's easier actually to upload from Periscope to YouTube than it is to just record a video. It's weird. I don't know. So anyways, okay. I learned when I first decided, like, I was going to be successful, and, I was like, I need this. And you come to a point where you're like, I need to make this work. I remember getting on YouTube and I just watched so many other leaders, and I YouTubed and I YouTubed and I YouTubed. So if there's somebody, everybody's given the same tools. Like, we all get the same 4 wraps in our kit, and some people are lucky. They got 4 defining gels and fabric and stuff. I didn't even get that stuff. So if I can be successful with just a box of wraps, you can too. So what I did is I got on YouTube and I just watched leaders, and I tried to figure out, like, what are they doing to be successful? So, one person that I really was inspired by was Jade Hooper. And, I would say she changed my business because she showed me a way to work social media. And we are a really, really big social media team. Like, I love social media. I would call myself a social media guru because I love it so much. But I wasn't 2 years ago. Like, I didn't even really know how to work social media. Yeah, I had Facebook, but I wasn't, I didn't know how to post and stuff. So, I really learned how to post to attract distributors. So, when people are saying, like, how can I get distributors? Like, it's not getting, it's like, how am I going to help somebody? And it's attracting people to you. So, I think where it all starts is your posts. And, Jade Hooper is the one who told me about this. She said lifestyle posts. The 3-3 rule is so, so, so important. And what that is 3 before and after pictures every single day, and 3 lifestyle posts. And lifestyle, I would say before and after pictures are to help you, get loyal customers or gather loyal customers. And your 3 lifestyle posts are going to help you grow your team. So I'm just going to give you some examples of, like, what a lifestyle post is. So let's just say, like, you signed a loyal customer, or you welcomed a new loyal customer to the greens. And what I do at that moment, if I just signed somebody, and let's say that you work a full-time job, but let's say that you're on your lunch break, like right now, let's say this is your lunch break and you just signed a loyal customer. What you want to do is take a picture, whatever you are doing. And, maybe if it's laying with your daughter, or maybe, you're on your lunch break, or whatever you are doing at that moment, you take a picture and you say, I'm laying here with my daughter, or we'll just say you're laying, I don't even have a daughter, so let's just say I'm laying here with my daughter, and I just welcomed a new lady to the or to the Greens 90-day challenge, or I welcomed a new lady to the Greens loyal customer, and I'm just so excited for her to try our greens. I just love being able to make extra money from my cell phone. Or it's just so amazing that I can make extra money on my cell phone. Or even saying, like, it's like, I love that I can bring in a second income without leaving my daughter. Just little things. Like, it's just like you planting seeds in people's minds. And what the 3-3 rule is going to do, when you're posting things like this every single day, it's just like a commercial. Do you know on TV they show commercials over and over and over again? And the reason that they do this is because people need to see things, 7 to 21 times before they're even going to be like, oh, hey, like, what is she doing? Or, maybe it's going to be that one post that they're going to see. Maybe, maybe it works paid for you to go to the zoo. Um, and maybe, and that's not something that you would have done, and It Works helped you, maybe just take your kids to the zoo, like, and maybe you post like, I'm just so thankful, like, It Works paid for our zoo day, and now we get to go on an adventure. Like, I love that, my part-time, I love that working for my cell phone can pay for our adventure days. Just something just so simple as that. Maybe one person is going to see that one post and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want It Works to pay for my adventure days, or I wish I could go to the zoo with my family. And so, I mean, you have to get really, 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 really creative. When I first started, I did make residual in the beginning because I worked really hard. But when I first started, I was making a lot of wrap cash because I was wrapping people. And so I literally would have wads of cash because that's how many people that I went out and I wrapped, because that's what I was taught in the beginning. I didn't know how to work social media. So, I definitely went and wrapped as many people as I could, and I literally just had cash. And I remember one time, my mom actually won this trip for her work, and she flew me down with her to go to Costa Rica or something. I ended up getting there before everybody else, and it was like I had to wait it was either me waiting 6 hours in the airport or me paying $60 to take a cab to get to the hotel before them. And I was like, well, man, we're only in, Costa Rica, not that often. So I was like, well, I don't even know if I have $60. And this was 2 years ago. So I looked in my purse and I'm like, hold on, let me go look. So I looked in my purse and I just started pulling out 20s and 20s. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God I had just wrapped people. And, because of It Works, because of that wrap cash, I was able to take a cab and go to the hotel early. But that's something that I would have never been able to do, without this business. And I was new. So just anything little, even just being able to, I don't know how everybody else was, but I remember when I couldn't even afford to fill my gas tank. And even just a little bit would help, right? I don't know if anybody knows, but let's just say you go to the gas tank and, maybe you only have $10 on you. You're going to put that whole $10 in your tank, right? Not everybody can afford to, fill up their tank full. And so even if you make $10 or you make $25 and It Works helps you pay for that gas, you thank It Works for helping pay for that gas. That was one of the best posts I ever posted. I took a picture of my car and I took a picture of, putting gas in my car, and I put a Blitz card, and I was like, I remember 2 years ago when I could barely even afford to put gas in my tank, $5 here, $10 there. And, now I'm just so thankful that I don't have to stress how I'm going to put gas in my car. And that was one of the best posts that I ever posted. I know one time at a meeting, I heard this, and there was this lady who, actually, I think it was on a Show Me the Money call. Actually, I can't remember her name, but there was this lady who $25 would have kept her lights on. Isn't that just $25? And she said she found It Works the month after, and it was her saving grace. $25. Can you guys imagine? I know some people aren't struggling like other people, but you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. If you can give somebody this opportunity to sell a wrap and make $25 in cash and keep their lights on, that's amazing. And so sometimes, people be like, oh, these little posts, they're stupid. Nobody cares if I can fill my gas. No, people care. There are people out here that need this. And so if you can switch your, your mindset to be, there are people out here that need this and can't do the things that you do or you can do because of this business, then you're going to go really far in this business. So, okay. Another tip. So when you're posting, man, there's so many comments going on. I'm trying to figure out if I need to block somebody. So just let me know if I need to so I can keep going. Okay. So when you're posting, your posts, your lifestyle posts should talk about 3 things. And that should be your past, your present, and your future. Okay, I get really ADD. So your past, your present, and your future. So you need to talk about your struggles. Like, even if your struggles are just yesterday, that's okay. You need to talk about them because people can relate to your struggles. Like, just how I told you, like, I couldn't afford gas. I always have to go back to me not affording gas because right now, like, the income that we're at, people can't relate to us being able to go and buy like a 20, like, can't relate to us go and buy like a truck and paying cash. People can't relate to that. So even myself, I have to remember back to the days where, we couldn't do these things because most people can't do these things. So, you have to go, so I always think, okay, so let's just say like I'm taking a picture and, I'm about to post. What was I doing 2 years ago today? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, man, I remember like, waking up at 6:30 in the morning and having to get up like and go to a job that I hated. And then I remember getting off work and then not having much time for myself or not even having enough time to do anything that I wanted to do and not being able to afford things that other people were doing, but I was still working full time. And I remember that. And people can relate to that because that's the American dream, is working 9 to 5. So, but the thing is that if I could just give somebody just a little bit of hope that maybe, maybe instead of going home after or not, some people have to work a part-time job along with their full-time job. So if I could maybe just give that one person hope that they don't have to get off work and go to another job, maybe I could show them, or, that they could make a second income from their home on their phone, then you're like that. Does that make sense? So basically, your posts need to talk about your past, your struggles. Like, I remember 2 years ago, I couldn't afford my gas, and talk about what you didn't like about that. Like, I hated not, or having to even think like that you had to put gas on my credit card and not being able to afford paying off that credit card. Like, that feeling sucks. I hated that. So talk about that. So that's your past. Now your present. Now I'm just so thankful that, I can sell a wrap and, pay for my gas in cash. And your future. And I'm just so excited because I know in the next 2 months, I'm going to be bringing in a second income or a second part-time income that's going to cover, extra things, so I don't have to stress as much. And so I think sometimes people leave out the future because they're like, well, I'm not making money yet. But are you going to be making money? Like, do you plan on working this business? Like, do you plan on getting the bonus, or do you plan on, because if you do, let's just say you sign up and, you're eligible for the $1,000 bonus. Let's say you sign up and you're like, you're going to go Ruby, and you're going to go Ruby in 2 months, right? So you need to talk about it. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so excited. Because in the next 2 months, I'm going to be earning a $1,000 bonus, and, I'm going to be able to take my daughter to the zoo. Or I'm so excited because in the next 2 months, I'm going to be earning a $1,000 bonus, and I am going to, start paying off this credit card debt. Like, or I'm going to be, paying off my student loans. And you have to talk about where you're going. And what I learned today, I was listening to this new book. It's called H3. I can't remember the word. It's like be humble, always hungry, hustle always. It's H3. Anyways, the guy's talking about people only follow people who know where they're going. And so if you're posting and like you don't know where you're going, then nobody's going to follow you. Nobody's going to want to join your team. And I think from the very beginning, like I've always talked about, well, I'm so excited because when I was an executive, they had this $10,000 bonus and you had 3 months to earn it. And I was like, I'm so excited because I'm going to go diamond in 3 months and I'm going to get this $10,000 bonus. And I'm just so excited because it's just going to completely change my life. And I didn't have a family then. I was single and I was having a lot of fun. So, and, so like I just talked about, my life and how excited I was about it. And I talked about this diamond bonus and I'm like, was so excited. And you know what? I was an executive. So I had 2 people on my team. And you know what? One of them was my mom. So I've always talked about where I was going from the beginning because I knew that this business was for me. And, whether I believed it fully, I just thought, I was like, well, I see other people doing it, so why not me? Okay. So your past, your present, and your future. And why that's so important is because your posts need to create feeling. So when somebody's reading your posts, nobody's going to join you because you post a picture and it was like, join my team, it's $99. You know what I mean? Like, no, nobody's going to join you. I'd be like, that's a scam. But what they would join you is because, maybe you created some type of feeling in them that they wanted what you had, or they saw you gave them some type of hope that maybe they don't have to go to bed crying every night. Maybe they don't have to worry about how diapers are going to be paid for, how they're going to put gas in their tank. If you can just give somebody hope, like that's enough to where they're going to be like, maybe I should look into this, or maybe, maybe it works this for me, or maybe, maybe this girl does have something really good on her hands. Hope gets you everywhere. Like it's crazy. That book I just read today was amazing. So, your posts have to create feeling in somebody, and so you need to get deep. When you're posting, it needs to be real, and it needs to be raw, and it needs to be thoughtful. Even like today, not everybody, not everybody can, trust me, but not everybody's willing to put in the work. That's true. Everybody can, but not everybody's willing to do what it takes. So, today, I posted, Riley started using a fork today for his first time. So I took a picture of Riley and I just talked to him. I was like, today Riley, he's a big boy. He learned how to use his fork for the first time. And I said, but what I'm most thankful for is that not only, or mommy and daddy got to be there for it. And, I'm so thankful for this business for giving us time to be a full-time family, and we don't ever have to miss those moments. And 2 years ago this would have never been possible because Tay was working full-time, like I was working, like we barely had time to see each other. And just emotions like that. I know that not everybody, I know a lot of people's spouses work full-time, and I know that that's going to create feeling in somebody who maybe that mom who's at work and they're like, man, like, I just wish, like, if she can have both people home, like, man, I could maybe do this and I could be home too, does that make sense? Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So, before and after. So it's very, very important that you're doing this 3 times a day. And why I tell you this is because Facebook has algorithms. So as much as you think you're posting a lot, it's like the statistics is like, what is it? Like 4 to 10%. I don't even know, but it's really, really low of your Facebook friends actually see your posts. So let's say that you have like 100 friends, maybe like 10 people saw that post, maybe. That's not very many people. And the same people are going to see your posts over and over again. So what you want to do is make sure you're on your Facebook and you're commenting and liking on people's posts that you haven't seen in a long time, because what's really cool is that's going to pop you up in their newsfeed. What was I talking about? I just lost my train of thought. But do you think posting a picture of money is helpful? Like I definitely like money pictures, especially on Instagram. I think they do work. I was talking about Facebook. So you need to be posting you want to be posting at least the 3-3 rule, because what's really cool is if somebody's on at breakfast, they might not be on at supper. And somebody that's on at supper time on Facebook might not be on at lunch. And so that's why you're going to hit different people every single day. And what's really cool is what I realized is when I was in Hawaii, we had a 4-hour time zone difference. And I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should post right now. And I was like, but at home, it was already 11 o'clock. And in Hawaii, it was only 7 o'clock. So, when you're posting and you're thinking, okay, well, I shouldn't post right now because it's the afternoon time and people, no, that's not true, because in a different time zone, it could be their lunch hour. Or it could be, their breakfast time. So you got to understand that you have people on your Facebook from all over the world, or even all over the United States in different time zones. So you may think that it's lunchtime where you are, but really it's breakfast time. So, I'm telling you, that's why the 3-3 rule is so, so, so important, because you're going to hit not only different people, but you're going to hit different time zones. So if you're not posting, you're going to miss it. Another tip I would say is, those are seriously my best tips about attracting distributors. And another thing I would say is it's always limited. Like, you only have so many spots open on your team. And it's true because, I can only train so many people to success and, at a time. And if I have this training group, like, I only have so many spots available in this to get my direct attention to run with you. And that's why the limited spots come in, because if you bring in 10 people and you're brand new, you may not know how to train them right away, so maybe you only, feel comfortable training 3 people. And so you're like, or one more person. And maybe that's all you have time for, and that's okay. So I only have one more spot on my team this week, for somebody looking to earn $1,000 bonus. Will it be you? What if it does work? You never know until you try. Limited spots. And then the other thing I would say is, on lifestyle posts, I don't always post that I'm looking for distributors, because, just on the ones today, me just being thankful, I'm just so thankful for that this business did this. If you're thanking it works, you don't have to go right into message me for more information. I don't do that. I only do that on some posts, but it doesn't have to be every single post. You don't always have to create the ask in the post, because it's like this. You're posting about let's say, oh my gosh, I'm just so thankful, that It Works paid for my adventure day at the zoo today. That's it. People, you leave people hanging. And when you leave somebody mysteriously hanging, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want more. And so they're going to be attracted to you, and they're going to be watching you more closely. They're like, wow, what is this girl doing? Or maybe I should message her for more information, because you're just leaving them hanging on a post. And so I definitely like to do that, because I'll get people to message me. And then maybe a couple posts later, I'll post my phone number or something so they can text me or something. Another thing that I like to do is, I like to have them text this word to phone number. So if you're talking about this is for a loyal customer, but text HSN to phone number. And I feel like it makes more people text you. It's the weirdest thing. I have noticed it does work. And also another thing that works is, text HSN to your phone number or leave your email below. I don't know what it is, but people feel comfortable leaving their email more than they feel comfortable texting you, or more than they feel comfortable commenting anything else. It's their email. It's no big deal. Here's my email. I'm like, okay, cool. So, I don't really like email, so I'll message you regardless of if you leave your email. I don't really like email. I've tried it. It doesn't really work as well for me, so I'll just message them. But it's totally up to you. Yeah, people are funny. So, and it just make sure you're doing that 3-3 rule every single day, and, just take people on your adventure with you, from the beginning. And I've had people on Instagram that have watched me because I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I've had people that have watched me for 2 years. They're like, oh my gosh, like I've just watched your journey for 2 years. Like you become so successful. And people are watching. As much as you don't think they are, they're watching. So just if they're watching, give them something to watch. You know what I mean? Like show them your adventure. And even if it's as little as, you know what? A lot of the top leaders, their first checks were $60, $50, $26, like less than $100. So, if you're like, well, I'm not making any money, I'm like, but are you going to make money? You know, like, well, you should go rap somebody because then you can post about Rap Cash. You know, like you can make money with this business. And I feel like there's so many people that have shown you that you can make money, that be confident with what you have. Definitely be confident in this business. Be excited, because where we are at this time will never be here again. Because I remember like 2 years ago, I posted on my I posted on Facebook. It came up in my time hop. And 2 years ago, I posted that there was only like 50,000 distributors. And now look, 2.5 years later, there's 100,000 distributors. So we've grown tremendously just in the last couple of years. And think about where we're about to go. Like we're about to be a 4 billion. Ooh. I guess we are speaking it. We're about to be $1 billion brand, and that's just the beginning. That's just this year. I clearly just told you we're about to be a $4 billion brand. You know, in the next 4 years, and there's a lot of pie. There's a lot of money to be made, and you have to just decide how much of that $1 billion pie do you want. But posting, attracting distributors, it's very possible. You just have to get very intentional and be very genuine about your post. So, do you guys have any questions? Thanks for all the hearts, guys. Oh, money pics on Instagram? Okay, if you don't have money, that's okay, because there's so many people that have money pictures on Instagram, or people who have already taken pictures with like $500 bills, like Jocelyn Yates. She has beautiful nails, you know, and she posts really cool pictures of money. So you can just, you know, screenshot her little money pics, and you know, as long as it doesn't have her logo on it, then you use them, or use somebody else's pictures, use somebody else's money pictures. So I definitely haven't posted that in a long time. I definitely think I should, because I used to get so many people interested off that. I don't know what it is, but Instagram and money pictures, it's the weirdest thing. Like, especially like even you I used to take pictures of me and my Rap Cash, and I'd be like, hey, just made $25 in 2 minutes. Like, I love what I do. That's a good lifestyle post. Like, do you make every lifestyle post thinking it works? Not every single one, but a lot of them, even if they're not thinking it works, it's subconsciously thinking it works. Like, even just me saying like, oh my God, like, a lot of I will say like, you know, I'm just so thankful for this business, or I'm so thankful that I said yes to adventure, because it works as an adventure. And it's not exactly saying it works, but it's saying yes, or saying yes to something that's, you know, out of the norm, or saying yes to a part-time income, or, you know, you don't even have to say the word it works, and you just say, you know, I'm just so thankful I said yes. So, like, for example, like I just got a Clarisonic. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just got this in the mail. And, you know, I took a picture of it because I'm going to post it later. And, oh, here's another tip too, but I'm going to post it later. And, you know, I'm going to say, you know, look at what just came in the mail. I'm seriously so excited, because I literally have always wanted one of these. And, you know, I've looked at them before, but I just couldn't afford them. You know, 2 years ago, there was no way I could afford them. Like I looked, but I could never touch. And I'm just so excited because, you know, my It Works paycheck just paid, or my It Works Fast Start just paid for, you know, me to have a new Clarisonic. And, you know, I got to pick out whatever color I want. Like, I just love, you know, that I can have the things that I, you know, couldn't have before. Or I'll say something like that. And the thing why I say fast starts is because people can get fast starts. Like, everyone has the potential to get fast starts. And you can even say, like, my fast start paid for, you know, my electricity bill, or my fast start paid for half of my car payment. Like, I'm just so thankful for Fast Start Friday. It just paid for half of my nails. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be really big. People relate to the simple things. People relate to simple things. You have to get down on, you have to pull up your struggles, because that's what people can relate to, and just simple things. I love Fast Starts too. It paid for your groceries. See, that's awesome. The It Works Fast Start paid for your cracked screen. That's a great one. A fast start is when somebody joins your team and you help them get 2 loyal customers, you're going to get a $100 bonus. And I call it a training bonus, because you helped them. You trained them, right? You helped them. You taught them what to do and helped them get their first 2 loyal customers. Yes. Yes, they can be placed. Never miss a fast start, ever. You paid for your eye scan when your glasses broke. That's an awesome one. Fast start bonuses paid for my happy hour and dinner with hubby. See, that's the kind of fast starts I like, Jess. Every Friday. That's so funny. Do you guys have any more questions? I got a Clarisonic. Thanks. A Clarisonic, it cleans your, I guess it like, it cleans your face. This paired with cleanser is amazing. Like, every single one of my friends that has this told me that it completely changed their skin. So I'm super excited. Paired with our cleanser, like, I'm pumped. Do you guys have any more questions about attracting distributors? That's what this Periscope is about, because I'm going to post this on YouTube. Is it okay to copy before and after pictures you see from other distributors? It's probably best to copy from the It Works Global site, or like a top leader. My YouTube channel is Get Carried Away. All right, guys, I do not see any more questions about attracting distributors. So, okay, how do you attract distributors on Instagram? The same thing, like literally lifestyle posts, lifestyle posts, lifestyle posts, lifestyle posts. Create the feeling in your posts. It's definitely about the lifestyle posts. I'm telling you, like, lifestyle posts, lifestyle posts, lifestyle posts. Like, you know, for example, like Jocelyn Yates, I love her. She signs distributors like crazy. And the reason why is because she posts lifestyle posts like every other post on Instagram, you know? And not everybody can be like her, so be like yourself. You know, but you need to get personal, you need to get relatable, and you need to be, you know, intentional and be you on Instagram, but you need to talk about what It Works is doing for your life, and you need to share your own adventure. You know, because I think sometimes, like, everybody, I think I got lost for a little bit. Like, I tried to be like everybody else, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, well, my story's not as good as hers. And I'm like, no, there was a reason that I got to where I was, and there's a reason that you're here, and God didn't put anybody in this business so that you could be like somebody else. He wants you to be you. So, you know, my story isn't, I mean, like, yeah, I couldn't afford gas, you know, but like, I wasn't like homeless, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I did have my parents that if I really needed something, like, I could call them. Not everybody has that, but, you know, like, I still was a broke college graduate. And so that my story is just unique to me. Like, there are other broke college graduates that are just like me that I can attract, you know, and so I would say stay in your, you know, definitely attract people that are like you. Like, I'm sure there's somebody out there that has the same story as you. Somebody out there, you know, it can't afford diapers, and somebody out there can't, you know, afford their student loan payments that are just about to start. So definitely, like, don't stay in your I wouldn't say like stay in your lane. I meant like stay in your target market. Figure out the type of people that, if you're a mom and, you take pictures with your baby talking about the second income, then you're more than likely going to attract moms who, well, anybody can attract a mom, but I'm saying like, but if you're a college student, who wants to just pay off the debt, then I'm sure you can attract other college students that want to pay off their debt, or, if you're just having fun and you're getting married, I'm sure you can talk to somebody else, or you're engaged, I'm sure you can attract other people that are getting married that need help paying for their wedding, because I know that stuff is expensive. Holy smoke. So I definitely know that marriage is where it's at, man, because I'm telling you, like the weddings, like everybody who's getting married needs to be a distributor, because I have no idea how we'd be able to afford this wedding without it. But anything that, maybe you are a single mom and you need help paying for your child to get his first car. Like there are other single moms that are going through the same thing that you are. So whatever your story is, make sure to stay unique to you, because, I can't relate to Jade when she was like, I couldn't even put, she had to put sheets over her windows to keep the heat in. Like, I can't relate to that, but you know what? I can use her story and I can tell her story and say, hey, this is my friend Jade, and this is her story. Like, it's just so inspirational. And I'm sure there's other people out here that, can relate. And, I would just love to help you. And if you can tell other people's stories. It doesn't have to be your own. Like when I was an executive, I was sharing distributors who were going diamond, and I was sharing distributors who were going triple, and I was sharing their stories with just their first name. So, you definitely want to share other people's stories, just only share their first name. So if you're going to share my story, don't tag me, and just put my first name, like, hey, this is my friend Carrie, or this is my sideline Carrie, and this is her story. Wow, that's a good one. So sharing other people's stories are huge, because stories is what gets you to where you are. Like you have to tell your story. Like, what is your story? And I think when I go over with my team, like I definitely make them get their notepad out on their iPhone in the note section, and I have them write their story. I said, what's your story? I said, I want you to write it. Maybe it was like a year ago I was homeless. Write it. You have to write your story, and you're going to tell your story over and over and over again. And if somebody on your Facebook and somebody on your Instagram doesn't know your story, then you're doing something wrong. So everybody that's following me on Facebook should know that I was a broke college graduate. They should know that 2 years ago I couldn't afford gas. They should know that, even a year ago, like me and Tay never got to see each other. And if I'm not posting that, if you're not seeing that, if you don't know that, then I'm not posting enough, because that's something that everyone should know your story. Everyone on your Facebook should know your story. And I learned that too. Lara Leitner, she posts her story over and over and over and over again. I couldn't figure out. Jocelyn Yates posts her story over and over and over again, but you put your story in your notes on your phone and you give it a twist every single time. So you post the same story, but you can twist it around again, like twist it a little bit, like just change it up. So like, instead of saying, 2 years ago I was a broke college graduate, I could break it down and say, 2 years ago, I remember, 2 years ago, I remember on a Tuesday, this is what I was doing, and just break it down by day. Like, what do you remember? What was it like a year ago? What was it like 2 months ago? Like on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, have things changed since then? Like even like on a Saturday, let's say, you have a full-time job and let's say you have a full-time job and you have your story written in your notes. And let's say before you joined 2 months ago. And let's say, you just started making an extra $200 a month. And, 2 months ago, I remember, it was a Saturday, and I remember having to sit at home because, we couldn't afford to go get ice cream. Like, we just didn't have any of the extra money. And now, I'm just so excited because now we, not only is It Works paying for our ice cream, but it's paying for our trip to the zoo. just little things like that, like, or I'm just so excited because, I don't have to stress anymore on Saturdays, if we can afford to go out to dinner. Or I'm so excited that, like, I don't have to stress how I'm going to make this car payment anymore. Or don't have to stress how I have to make my utilities anymore. Like, simple things, you guys. You just have to get very, very, I don't know why I keep talking about the zoo. Simple things. You just got to get really real with people. And somebody out there needs $100 extra a month, and that's it. And that could save them from, going bankrupt. Even $200, a lot of people join just to make $200. So if you've made $200 in this business, then you need to be talking about it every single day or every other day or every other post. Like, you need to be talking about it and sharing your adventure over and over and over again. So, and your adventure, it doesn't have to cost money. You could go outside and build a snowman and say, like, our adventure today, like, I'm just so excited, we got to make a snowman. Like, and it doesn't even have to be about it works, but that could be your adventure. So, hopefully this helped you guys. I definitely feel like I need to edit this video a little bit before I post it on YouTube because I had some dumb moments, some blank moments. If you don't do much throughout the day, how do you post quality posts without sounding repetitive? So what I do is when I'm out somewhere, I take multiple pictures. So yesterday we went to Amber's and, she has a daycare. We went and hung out there, and I just took a whole bunch of pictures of Riley. I took pictures of what we did, and I'll post them, and I'll post them again and be like, oh my gosh, like, I joined for my son. Like, I'll talk about my son, or I'll talk about, you don't have to talk about the same things every single time. Like, you can get creative. Like, maybe one picture I'll post about something that he's doing, and then I'll post it again maybe the next day and talk about something completely different. So, you just got to get creative, and, you just got to get creative. So there is definitely ways to attract distributors, but posting, $99 join my team isn't one of them. So yeah, post about your journey, post about why you started, like, and what are you excited about? Like, what gave you hope? Post about it, because you know what? You could give somebody else hope.